SDN POC, DPI with ODL and Open VSwitch. Through this video we will be demonstrating the configurations required for bringing up the DPI infrastructure. OVS VSCTL is the utility for querying and configuring OVS VSwitch D. OVS bridges and interfaces are configured in this machine. vPort 1 and vPort 2 will be used to attach guest virtual machines to the OVS bridge named MyBridge. The ETH0 interface of the host machine will be bridged to OVS bridge to provide external connectivity. The guest virtual machines will be acting as the traffic generators in this environment. Dump the current flow definitions from OVS switch using the command OVS off dump flows. Default flow is added to ensure the connectivity to other systems in the network. This flow rule can be defined very specific to systems involved in DPI service. Now we will be starting the SNORT tool to capture the packets. Packets will be sniffed from ETH0 and vPort 2. vPort 2 is attached to a virtual machine which is currently up and running. SNORT will be loading all the predefined rules for the packet analysis. In our environment, the analyzed data is fed into MySQL database. JMS services running inside the DPI service layer will send the detected packet signature to JMS server. Now we are starting the JMS application inside the DPI layer. This application is developed using Java and it uses the Java messaging services for data exchange. This application will connect to SNORT MySQL database, and read the metadata of identified application or protocol. After reading the data, it will be sent to the JMS middleware. Data stored in the middleware can be used by the analysis engine. The analysis engine can be distributed in nature to meet the heavy processing needs of DPI system. Now the SNORT and JMS application is running in the DPI layer host machine. We can attempt to generate some HTTP traffic. From the host machine we will be attempting to connect to aricent.com, google.com and facebook.com. All the web applications are loaded successfully in host machine. Now we will attempt the same from guest virtual machines. Guest virtual machine is a tiny core Linux. All interfaces are configured for the virtual machine to ensure the connectivity to other systems in the network. From this virtual machine we are running an ICMP ping. Also attempted wget for aricent.com, google.com and facebook.com. We can have a look in the SNORT logs. All the detected packets are logged into console, also the metadata is stored into database. Let us bring up the deep packet inspection, northbound application. First, onto the controller VM, a topic needs to be created for holding application signatures. Apache ActiveMQ is used as a JMS infrastructure. JMS server will be running in an independent server. The DPI application displays the data part of the packet and count of detected application signature. You can now see the application is triggered to subscribe to the topic. With the subscription, the consumer for the topic is initialized. The flow programmer is used to provision and deprovision. We can now see the application capability for signature detection. Application is already running and listening for the messages from Open VSwitch DPI layer JMS service. The controller has only one flow, which is the existing hardware flow from the switch. The application now waits for the detected signatures metadata and data payload information from the JMS server. This application displays the signatures and the hit count. Let us monitor the signature of the applications and protocols detected by the DPI layer. The data shown here are the packets flowing through the Open VSwitch in DPI layer. This northbound application will show only the detected applications and protocols from Open VSwitch. The monitoring application will be refreshed automatically upon receiving the data from DPI layer. Let's look at the flow provisioning from the northbound application. The flow provisioning and deprovisioning will happen from the application, based on user request, and we can check the provisioned flow from Open Daylight Controller and Open VSwitch. All these flow provisioning messages are sent to Open Daylight Controller. We have a JMS adapter for Open Daylight Controller to translate JMS messages to OpenFlow messages. We can now look at the provisioning of flows from DPI application. As of now, the application is capable of configuring static flows with JMS messages sent to the Open Daylight Controller. If we dump the flows in Open VSwitch, there will be only the default flow present in the flow table. Now we can see a drop action flow got added to the Open VSwitch, which is provisioned by the northbound application. After the flow is deprovisioned from the northbound application, the static flow configuration is removed from Open VSwitch.